Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my December sinking funds and savings tracker budget. So I have numbers written down already. I have my categories written down, and I kind of want to go over a little bit how November closed out before I start into December. A lot of things happened. If you saw my hot mess November closeout for the sinking funds, yeah, it was a hot mess. I had arrows drawing everywhere and all the things. So let me go back to November. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I do all kinds of budget videos based on my personal budget with my family of 4 adults. It's me, my husband, and 2 adult sons with autism that live in the home. And this is what we have going on in our life. And this is how I stay on top of where the money's going and where it needs to go and how we're taking care of ourselves with our budget and finances. So, sinking funds, November. Let's flip the page back. Again, hot mess express definitely happened in November. See all these lines. Now, you're going to notice something different if you saw my November closeout. This was red with over $600 that needed to be covered, and really I almost spent everything that I had in here. But fortunately, by the end of November, we had cash available to true this up to zero balance here, and I didn't have to carry over a negative, which I'm super excited about. Now let me show you how that worked. When you look at my November closeout budget, you're going to see, let me find paycheck 2 here. You're going to see that I had $853.55 left over. I still had $4 days left in the month of November. It was Thanksgiving week. It was Black Friday weekend. It was everything. So what I did was left that closeout with that $853 in it with the last 4 days. And if I spent throughout that time period, I would categorize it and take it out of here, which is what I did on my weekly check-in. Originally, I was only going to do a 4-week weekly check-in. I ended up doing a 5 with that last $850, and this is what I spent. So let's take a look at those numbers. And I've already closed out this budget, but I'm just showing you what I didn't put on film and put out on camera. So we spent $123.67 plus the $52.37 plus $38.22, and that was grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous. On the calendar here, yeah, I got some toys at Meijer for my little friend, and her name is Ellie, and I love taking care of her and babysitting sometimes for her and her parents. And then I got $123 worth of groceries, and then my husband and I went out to dinner at Casa Fiesta midweek before the busyness of the weekend happened. So that was Thanksgiving week, and we have $214.26 of what we actually spent after I closed out this budget, and so I subtract that from this number. And then what I needed for home maintenance, this isn't all of it. I was short like a couple bucks, but I did transfer $639.29 from the checking account to the savings account where I keep my sinking funds. And that, which is back here, that combined with the $50 I normally put here and the $2.66 to make this zero, brought that negative number back to zero. And that is how I ended up closing out the sinking funds after I filmed last time. So that is where that all that happened there. Like I said, it was a hot mess express, but I figured it out, and we are able to move on into December and move forward from there. Let me go ahead and go back one more page. This notebook is full. I have an Erin Condren notebook, and that's just with all the stickers in it. It doesn't want to close. Yeah, it's pretty thick, but I love it. I love doing it. I have already got my new one set up. I do have a video, hopefully I'll get up this week, filmed. I just gotta go back and edit and get it ready for my annual budget for next year of 2025 and all the things. So we're good to go, and I'm excited about that. And Mortgage Monday will be on the 9th of December next week. So I'm excited about that. And lots of changes and lots of things happening. So check out those videos when they do come up. So the first thing we have for sinking funds, and these are all my sinking funds. I don't even know how many I have. I have 14 sinking funds. I have removed several over the past year, at least 6, I think, 5 or 6, and shortened these because next year our whole budgeting strategy is changing, so we can fully make room to fully fund our Roth IRAs for me and my husband every year going forward, and that is being set up. In fact, I emailed my financial advisor and said, how do we set up this auto draft? So it'll be auto drafted out of the checking account immediately, and then I work with what's left to take care of me and my family. So we're going to go ahead and start with Amazon Prime. Now, I put one deposit in for the total of these sinking funds. These are not buckets in a checking account or savings account. They're buckets here on paper, and I have one number I put in. I already wrote down the dividends that came into this account. It is a money market account, but it has so little money in it that it wasn't much in dividends. $1.46, which is fine. Anything is fine. It's just a way for me to track, and I like having a few dollars there to do what I did last month, which is to move it from this dividend to one of these funds if I need a little extra to cover the difference and keep something from going negative. So I did like that last month. Amazon. This is for our annual Amazon Prime. It happens every year in September for us. So we currently have $25.12. Now I take what we paid. Let's see if I can find where we paid. Is it? Nope. September. So I paid $150.68. So we do have tax. That is, we have to pay when we do our Amazon Prime. So $150.68 divided by 12, and that gives me $12.55, and the 6 rounded or extended number here. So what I did is round it up to $12.56. So I do to the penny because I like to match my bank account. I like to have know what the change is. I'm just that type of person, so that's what I do. $12.56 is what I'm putting in here, and by the time I have to pay it, it'll be all set. I might have extra change in this, and then I'll just adjust as I go forward in the next month and add to it. Now, originally I wasn't going to fund some of these in order to cover the negative that was going to be what would have been home maintenance, but because I got it to 0, I don't have to worry about that. So I was able to keep and fund and do all the things I wanted to do. And I did get a comment about that. Thank you for your comment about just funding it anyway. And if I need it later, I could use it. Totally agreed with that. In the moment, I just didn't know if it was the right thing to do. And now that I was able to pay it and put it to 0, it's not a problem anymore. So thank you for your comment there. Apple 365, I do know how much I paid last year. It's $69.99 plus tax. This time, I think it was like $70 some. I don't remember, but I know it's a difference of $10.06. I normally put less than that, $10.06. So that means last year it was $64.13 plus $10.06. It was $74.19 last year with the tax. So divide that by 12, and going forward, I'll probably starting in January, because this comes out on the 30th of December, and I will be paying it pretty much right away. I'm going to start in January doing $6.18. 20 cents. I'll probably just do $6.18 and then use my change here if I need to, or add to it when I have to make the last final payment. So that will go up a little bit. I wasn't doing that this past year. I was still using the $69.99, but I forgot the tax, and so next year I will remember. The last month I put $13 for Xander identity theft. This month I'm putting $12. Reason is Xander identity theft has been $145, and 12 times 12 is 144. So I added $1 at the beginning, and then I won't have to worry about it at the end. So that's the reason for the difference there. Norton is my husband's laptop, where he has Norton on that, and his subscription, I put away $5.33 a month. Not sure when that's coming out. I think it's like January or so. I know it's in the wintertime. So this should be fully funded by the time it comes out. Canva I use for my thumbnails and things like that for my videos, and I enjoy creating freebies for you guys. There are freebies in the description box below. You can print your own budgets. You can print different ways of tracking your spending and stuff like that. So check out those. And if you have a question about any of them, let me know in the comments. And yeah, check those out. We have $70 for Canva. I add $10 a month. It's usually $120 a year, or just under that, $119 and some change. And I do know the professional side is going to go up, and they've added so many features. This will probably go up. I just don't know what it's going to look like yet. I need to go in and see if I can see what the new price, if there is a new price for me, because I pretty much use personal. Epidemic Sound is the music you hear in my videos, and that is $12 a month. It's $144 a year. Home maintenance, we're starting with $0. We're putting $50 in. Orkin, we're starting with $0 because November is when they came out, and I usually have exactly what I need built up when they come here and pay it on that month. So I only do the adjustment once a quarter. They come out quarterly. Orkin is $47 that I put away. Originally I was going to do twice a year, but then I don't know. I changed my mind, so we're just going to keep doing it this way. It's fine. Propane, we do have a gas fireplace. We might have to do an extra fill up this year. We use all, we had $20 left over after we paid for propane to be filled up here in November, I think, or October, somewhere around that range. And I'm doing $20 a month here. So if I have to fund it, or if I have to fill the tank again later in the winter, I can, but it helps keep our heat down and not running as frequently during the day when we're in the house during the day. So trash, which somebody's always home every day, so. But at night, we don't use the fireplace, obviously. I do $30 a month for that, and then on the third month, I find out what the bill is, make the adjustment, and then go back to $0. So that is always being funded and then being paid and funded. These are all perpetual. These don't get fully funded, and I'm like, okay, now I can wait, and I don't pick and choose when to fund. I just divide how much I know it's going to be by 12 and then put that amount in. Car maintenance, we wipe that out. If you know, you know. I had to take my car in and it was gone for a week, which is why I had so much money left over at the end of November. Couldn't think there for a second. At the end of November, and could put towards the home maintenance and all the spending we did with the car. I couldn't go anywhere for a week, and that was pretty cool. I wasn't going to the store, I wasn't shopping online, I wasn't doing anything. So, because I didn't know how much my car vehicle exactly was going to cost yet, and I was worried about that. So we just took a week off from spending, and that really saved us a lot of money. Taxes and tags, these are for our license plate and registration. That's $20 a month we're putting aside. I took whatever we paid last year on our vehicles and in total and divided it by 2, and this is the number I came up with. If anything left over in this will count to the next cycle of doing that. Tax prep, if we pay someone to do our taxes, it's also $20 we're putting aside. And then birthday, Christmas, I always do $100 for that because we always have birthdays and Christmases. So my sons, one was born in December on Christmas Eve, so he gets a lot of stuff here at the end of the year. We separate. Christmas Eve is actually not Christmas Eve, it's my son's birthday. And then we have Christmas Day, and then we have gifts open on both days and all the things. My other son was actually born in June, so they're 6 months apart in their birthdays. So I always make sure I have enough in June, and then the rest of it goes to the end of the year for Christmas and birthday for both. And yeah, or Christmas for both and birthday for one. So that is why I put this amount here is $100. Again, our bank gave us a whopping $1.46 for how much we get to have in our savings. This money market account is right at 1% or less than 1%, like 9.09%, whatever it is, for interest earned. So it's not very much, but it's still more than a regular savings account, which only gives you less than 50 cents. So yeah, there you go. Anywhere from 10 cents to 50 cents. So it's still more than that, but less than you would hope for a high yield savings. It's a lot more. My high yield savings at $33,000 down here, you'll see, is actually doing over $100 a month on that. So that's pretty cool. Can't move money in and out easily with Edward Jones. Maybe some of the other high yield savings would be easier to move money in and out. I actually have to call my guy and talk to him. It almost feels like I have to get permission to do it, even though he would do it regardless. He's a sweetheart. I love him. He was a neighbor of ours, best friends. We were active duty Navy, and he was on the sub side of the community, and we were on the surface aircraft carrier side of the community. So yeah, we had a great time together. All right, so we know the beginning balance. We know it's $1,242.68. Now we're going to total up these amounts to get one deposit number. Now there's two kind of numbers we're working with. The Amazon Prime to birthday, Christmas, that number, and then dividends separately. So I'm going to include the dividends, but I'm going to stop short of that to come up with what I have written down to put as our sinking fund deposit from our checking account. So I always put sinking funds as like a bill in my bill calendar, which this will change next year, and you'll see that in my annual budget video. But this sinking funds bill due sticker here is how I come up with it. Obviously I already have a number ready to go, $398.95. We're going to double check the math on that, but this, and I actually need to check it because I've already transferred it. I wanted to make sure there was more money in the account, longer in the savings account, so it would build a little more interest. So I went ahead and transferred it because most of our money comes in, 80% of it comes in on the first of the month. But I always have it here and planned out for you guys, and then I do a video showing you the plan. And so that's the number we need to come up with from Amazon to Christmas, and then dividends, I'll show you what it looks like total with that. So let's go ahead and total these numbers up. Okay, so there's $398.95. That should be the same number here, and that is, so we've done our math correctly, and I budgeted correctly and basically told you the truth. I'm going to add the $1.46, and that gives us a total of deposits going to the account. Now I transferred one number into this account, that $395, or I'm sorry, the $398.95. I've already put that in there, and then this was deposited already on the first of the month, and so now we have $400.41. Now I will say I don't have the numbers yet, but I do know, like I said earlier, Apple, which is I have Apple products, and I wanted Microsoft 365. Because I use Excel spreadsheet and I did not like numbers very much. So I use the subscription. I have Word, I have numbers, Excel, PowerPoint, notes, all the things. I have the whole package. I don't use all of them, but I have all of them. And for this one price, every year this comes up. So that will be withdrawn by the end of the month. And then I have birthday, Christmas coming out. So this is how my birthday, Christmas works. I want to be fully funded if I didn't spend birthday in June, if I just did $100 a month for 12 months, it's $1,200. And I want that by November because that's when Black Friday is. That's when a lot of the sales are. That's when I can get everything ordered and shipped to the house quickly and beat the rush. So from November to October, I put $100 a month away. And then when my son's birthdays pop up, I include that as well as Christmas. So it's basically $300 for birthday, $300 for Christmas times 2. That's $1,200. So starting in December, I need $100 in here, starting the new cycle. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to write this down because I've already done this, I've withdrawn and paid the credit card, all the Christmas stuff that I've bought so far, $653.14. Anything I spent above and beyond this, I would have to get the money elsewhere. And I'm just going to keep saving. I always protect this because I want to make sure I have enough to celebrate my sons, to celebrate Christmas, to celebrate our family and stuff like that. And yeah, I really want to make sure that this is protected. So I do this, and that leaves us an ending of $100. Now, because I've already actually transferred the funds, that is why I can go ahead and write that down. Obviously, this charge has not happened. I know it's going to happen, so I've adjusted for that. But when the actual withdrawal happens, or actually the actual charge happens to my credit card, I will transfer from this account to my credit card, and it should end in 0. The rest of these I do not anticipate needing, so hopefully it will not be a hot mess at the end of the month, closing out my sinking funds. I just hope that it's smooth and easy, and there you go. And hopefully that will take care of the month. That is all I'm expecting to happen, and that's normal. Normal means I don't have but a couple of things happening, and then I just carry the number over. But this past few months, this year has been very crazy. Thankfully, our car is running super well, and the squeak noise I was having is gone, and all the problems and everything's been taken care of. It's almost like a brand new truck. I say truck, it's an SUV, and it's Armada, so Nissan Armada 2013. So I've had it for quite a while, 11 years, but it's got a lot of life in it, and I don't want to buy a new vehicle, which brings up the subject. Hopefully in a year or two we can start doing a line item to save money towards a new vehicle, or at least a down payment on a new vehicle. I'm not big on buying used, but I wouldn't mind buying one that's 1 or 2 years old at the most. But anyway, that's another story for another time. We'll wait until that comes. We're not ready to do that yet. So those are the things I'm thinking about for the future, just not next year. Trying to think, is there anything? Oh yeah, savings tracker here at the bottom. So what we have here, I still have it all separated. The only thing that really happens in this Edward Jones account that has emergency fund, vacation fund, taxes that we're going to need to pay because we moved money over from a traditional Roth, I think, to a post Roth IRA. I don't even know the terminology, but it's an after-tax Roth. We put $9,000 in to pay today's taxes on that instead of paying future taxes on that. And when we withdraw the money later in our late 60s going into our 70s, that money we won't have to pay tax on it because we've already paid the tax in a previous year, which would be lower than what we would in the future. So I've never known taxes to really go down on these things, so I'd rather pay them now than later. And that is kind of where I'm at with that. So we're leaving that $9,000 there until tax season. Then we're going to figure out what do we owe and all that stuff. And yeah, so we are going to owe in taxes. It's going to be crazy. Vacation fund, I'm actually going to merge that going into January. That won't be a line item in our vacation fund. That vacation fund is going to be part of the emergency fund, so it's $24,000. And then we've steadily gained over $100 worth of interest every month since I started this Edward Jones account, and it's up to over let's see, what's the total now? $735 and $700.35 plus the $139.01, And that gives us, because we're not going to withdraw anything out, and if I have to, I'll erase this later, but this is $839.36. Just in the 6 months that we've had this account. That is a substantial amount of high yield savings. 5.33 is what I got it locked in for right now. That's pretty awesome. I'm really happy with Edward Jones and that kind of money just sitting there. I'm going to go ahead and finish out this little chart here because I don't plan to take anything out obviously in December. And if I do take any money out of here, it'll happen close to tax season and we will deal with it then. So 9,000. So 20,000 plus 4,000 plus 9,000 plus 839.36, and that leaves $33,839.36. So I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen. So, and if it does, guess what? I have an erasable pen. It's fine. So this was originally $33,735. Yep. So that is my sinking funds and savings tracker. At the end of the month, I'll show you what that looked like and if anything else had to happen. But most of these are bills or quarterly expenses, yearly expenses. And so a lot of this won't be affected. And that should cover everything. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.